Okay, so you're getting ready for a horse trainer interview. How exciting. We're diving deep into what interviewers are really looking for and how to make your experience really shine, whether you're just starting out or you're a seasoned pro.
It's about more than just, listing your riding accomplishments. It's about showcasing your horsemanship, really understanding these animals, and showing that dedication to their well-being.
Absolutely. And how do you really get that across?
Being prepared,
Yeah.
that's key.
So let's break down some common interview questions. And let's start with one that you'll probably hear right off the bat, no matter what your experience level is.
Tell us about your experience working with horses. Seems pretty straightforward, but what are they really trying to get at here?
They want to see that spark, that genuine love for horses. Don't just rattle off jobs or your riding history. Tell me a story.
Ooh, I like that.
Did you volunteer at a rescue stable, exercise horses at a big racing yard, or maybe you grew up caring for a family horse? What breed was it? What did that experience teach you? So instead of saying, I worked at a summer camp, you'd say something like, I fell in love with the patience required to work with young horses while teaching kids at a summer riding camp.
Exactly. Let that enthusiasm shine through. What is it about working with horses that fascinates you? Their intelligence, their athleticism, the bond you form.
So much more engaging than just like, here's my resume.
Right.
Now, what about when the questions get a little bit more technical, especially as you move into those like mid-level positions?
And that's where a tool like RoleCatcher can be really helpful. It actually uses AI to analyze job descriptions and pinpoint the specific skills that they are looking for.
It's like having a secret weapon to kind of stand out from the herd.
Precisely.
Okay.
Now, a common question at this level is, what techniques do you use to train horses?
Okay, time to show off your knowledge.
Right. But it's not just about name-dropping fancy terms like natural horsemanship or clicker training.
Right.
While those are important to mention, if they genuinely reflect your approach, interviewers want to see that you understand the how behind those words.
So give concrete examples.
Exactly. So for instance, instead of just saying, I use positive reinforcement, you could say, I used positive reinforcement to teach a young quarter horse to load into a trailer. By pairing treats and praise with each step closer, I was able to build a positive association with loading, making it a stress-free experience for the horse.
That paints such a vivid picture. Now, RoleCatcher's AI, it can actually provide feedback on your answers, right?
It's like having a personalized interview coach right in your pocket.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually plug in your answers and it'll suggest ways to make them even stronger, tailored to the specific job you're going for.
Oh, wow. That's incredible. Okay, another question that often comes up at that mid-level is, how do you assess a horse's needs and abilities? We're talking about going beyond just basic care here, right?
Absolutely. This is about observation, about understanding those subtle cues that a horse gives. Can you spot the early signs of lameness? Do you adjust your riding or handling based on the horse's temperament that day?
It's like being a horse whisperer of sorts.
Exactly. Showcase those skills by talking about a time that you identified a potential issue just by observing a horse's behavior or gait.
So you might say something like, I noticed a horse was pinning its ears slightly when asked to move off my leg during groundwork. Recognizing this as a potential sign of discomfort, I investigated further and discovered a girth gall that we were then able to treat quickly.
Perfect example. You've demonstrated both your attentiveness and your proactive approach to horse care.
Music to an employer's ears. Now let's move on to a question that I think often trips people up. Tell us about a particularly challenging horse you've worked with. What's the best way to kind of approach this question?
This isn't about bragging rights or trying to sound like a hero. It's really about how you handle adversity, your problem-solving process, and crucially, what you learned from those tough experiences.
So walk us through how to structure a response to that question.
First, you want to clearly explain what made this horse difficult. Was it fearful, resistant to training, prone to maybe specific behavioral issues? Then, detail the specific strategies you used to address those challenges. Did you adjust your training methods? Did you bring in outside expertise?
And of course, that what you learned part is key. It shows self-awareness and that you're always striving to improve.
Precisely. You could say, this horse taught me the importance of patience and perseverance in training. It also highlighted the need to be adaptable and adjust my approach based on the horse's individual needs. You could even circle back to a technique you mentioned earlier, for example. While working with this horse, I discovered the effectiveness of clicker training for building confidence and overcoming fear.
See, that answer just reveals such a genuine commitment to the art of horse training. It's about constantly learning, evolving your skills, not just sticking to one routine.
Exactly. And it shows that you're willing to go the extra mile to help each horse reach its full potential.
And it really is a journey, you know, for both the horse and the trainer. Okay, so we've talked about some common questions for like entry-level, mid-level positions. But what about when you're going for a senior trainer role? Those stakes are higher, right?
Absolutely. At this level, interviewers are really looking for that deeper level of expertise, leadership, a commitment to staying at the forefront of the horse world.
And that world is always evolving. So how do you convince them that you're not, like, stuck in your ways, so to speak? A question I imagine comes up a lot is,
Right.
how do you stay up to date with the latest developments in horse training and care?
It's more than just saying, oh, I love to learn. Mention professional organizations that you're a part of, like the U.S. Equestrian Federation, the USF.
USF, right?
It's the governing body for equestrian sports in the U.S. Being a member shows you're really invested in that professional side of things.
It's like a stamp of credibility.
Exactly. Talk about specific clinics or seminars you've attended, maybe even mentioning a takeaway that really shifted your perspective. Did a recent study on equine nutrition change the way you think about feeding programs? Have you incorporated new findings on saddle fitting into your practice?
So instead of just saying, I read a lot of horse magazines, you're saying, I recently attended a clinic with his renowned veterinarian, and it totally changed my approach to recognizing early signs of lameness, which I now incorporate into my daily checks.
Now you're demonstrating that you're actively seeking out knowledge and applying it to your work, always aiming to improve the lives of the horses you work with.
That's the kind of dedication that makes a senior trainer stand out. Now, speaking of expertise, let's talk about another question that's really crucial at this level. How do you work with horse owners to develop a training plan? This is about more than just the horse, right?
It is. You're really working with two clients in a way, the horse and their owner. Clear communication, collaboration, essential.
So how do you even begin to answer that one?
Highlight your process. Do you have a system for understanding the owner's goals, maybe their experience level? Do you observe the horse before even making recommendations?
It's about finding that sweet spot between the owner's vision and what's truly best for the horse.
Exactly. You might say something like, I always begin with a really open and honest conversation with the owner to understand their hopes, dreams, any concerns they might have.
I bet active listening skills are key here.
Oh, 100%. You want them to feel heard. Then, you can add, I combine their input with my own assessment of the horse temperament, physical abilities, training level to create a customized plan.
It's a partnership.
Exactly. And because things change, right? You can say, I believe in regular check-ins, open communication throughout the whole process. We can adjust the plan as we go based on the horse's progress, any challenges that arise, the owner's feedback.
Demonstrating that you're flexible, you're proactive, you're always prioritizing the well-being of the horse, that's huge.
It really is. And remember, RoleCatcher can be a valuable resource for practicing your answers to these types of questions. Its AI can actually analyze your responses and suggest ways to really tailor them to the specific senior trainer roles that you're interested in.
So it's not just about finding the right words. It's about understanding what each employer is looking for and really showing them that you're the perfect fit for that specific role. Now, with all this talk about experience, expertise, there might be some listeners out there wondering, what if you're just starting out? Like, experience is earned, but how do you convey that same, dedication, that horsemanship when you're still working on building up your resume?
That's where your passion really takes the reins. Interviewers understand everyone starts somewhere, right? They want to see that you're eager to learn, that you're dedicated to the well-being of horses, and that you're willing to put in the work.
So even if you haven't, held a professional training position yet, you can still talk about horses you've loved, cared for, learned from.
Exactly. Highlight any volunteer work, internships, maybe even just personal projects that really showcase that commitment. Did you help rehabilitate a rescue horse? Did you take the initiative to learn a new training technique maybe on your own horse?
Those experiences speak volumes. Like you always say, it's not just about, riding, it's about horsemanship.
Exactly. And that shines through no matter what your level of experience is. And don't be afraid to share your aspirations too, right? Are you eager to specialize in a particular discipline, work with a specific breed, let your enthusiasm for those goals really shine through?
Because that passion, it's contagious. Well, we've covered a lot of ground here, from entry level all the way to those senior positions. But one thing remains constant. the importance of preparation.
Absolutely. The more you prepare, the more confident you'll feel walking into that interview. It's like practicing a dressage test. The more you rehearse it, the smoother and more polished your performance is going to be.
And that's where RoleCatcher can really give you an edge.
It's like having a secret weapon right there in your saddlebag. Not only can it help you tailor your answers to specific job descriptions, but it actually provides feedback on your delivery, making sure that you're presenting yourself in the best possible light.
It's like having a mock interview with an expert, but you can do it from the comfort of your own home.
And without the pressure of a real interview, you can really relax, experiment with different approaches, and just refine your answers until you feel totally confident and prepared.
So to sum it all up, acing that horse trainer interview, it's a combination of showcasing your passion, demonstrating your knowledge, and conveying your dedication to those horses, their well-being.
It's about showing them you're not just there for a job, you're there for the love of the horse.
And with a little help from RoleCatcher, you can walk into that interview confident, prepared, and ready to land that dream job.
Now, here's something to think about as you continue on your journey in the horse world. How can you contribute to a future where horse training is this really harmonious blend of tradition and innovation?
That's a great question. We talked about using AI for interview prep, but how else can technology be used to maybe enhance that training process, improve horse welfare, and just really further our understanding of these incredible animals?
It's a really exciting time to be involved in the equine world.
It is.
Best of luck in your job search, everyone. Remember, confidence and preparation are key. Until next time, happy riding.